James chapter 1 verse 6 builds directly on the previous verse's encouragement to seek wisdom from God by addressing the manner in which we should ask, but let him ask in faith, with no doubting, for he who doubts is like a wave of the sea, driven and tossed by the wind. This verse deepens the conversation about prayer by focusing on the quality of faith that must accompany requests made to God. It challenges believers to trust wholeheartedly in God's character and His promises, emphasizing the instability that doubt introduces into a person's spiritual life. The phrase, "let him ask in faith," underscores faith as the essential ingredient in prayer. Faith in this context is not just belief in God's existence, it is a confident trust in His willingness and power to answer. This trust is not blind, but based on the knowledge of God as revealed through His word and character. When James instructs to ask with no doubting, he highlights the need for unwavering commitment to this trust. Doubt here is not portrayed simply as a momentary hesitation, but as a fundamental wavering in one's belief in God's goodness and His providential care. The comparison of one who doubts to a wave of the sea driven and tossed by the wind is particularly vivid. This metaphor paints a picture of instability and lack of direction. Waves are at the mercy of external forces, unable to steady themselves or find a consistent path. Similarly, doubt introduces a kind of spiritual turbulence that prevents individuals from finding peace or stability in their faith. This instability can manifest in anxiety, fear, and indecision, which are contrary to the peace and assurance promised through a trust-based relationship with God. The exhortation to ask without doubting serves multiple purposes. First, it is a call to examine one's faith, urging believers to assess the depth and stability of their trust in God. This examination is not meant to discourage, but to foster a stronger, more resilient faith that can withstand the trials of life without faltering. Second, this instruction is designed to align the believer's prayer life with the biblical ideal of trust in God. It suggests that effective prayer, the kind that accesses and releases God's wisdom and power, is rooted in a faith that does not waver. Moreover, the concept of asking in faith aligns with the broader biblical narrative, which consistently underscores faith as a prerequisite for receiving from God. From the accounts of the patriarchs to the healings in the Gospels, Scripture is replete with instances where faith acts as the conduit through which God's power and blessings flow. Thus, James is not presenting a new principle, but reinforcing a long-standing biblical truth, making it applicable to the everyday experiences of his readers. Practically speaking, to ask in faith means to let go of self-reliance and human reasoning as the ultimate guide. It involves submitting one's intellect, emotions, and will to God, trusting that His ways, though sometimes mysterious, are always for our ultimate good. This kind of faith is not passive. It is an active, deliberate choice to rely on God even when circumstances suggest otherwise. This teaching also encourages believers to cultivate a personal relationship with God that is characterized by regular, heartfelt communication. In this relationship, prayer becomes more than a ritual. It is a lifeline, a dynamic interaction with a living God who cares deeply about His children's lives. By fostering this intimate connection, believers can strengthen their faith, reducing the room for doubt, and increasing their sensitivity to God's leading. James chapter 1 verse 6 is a pivotal verse that challenges believers to fortify the quality of their faith as they seek God for wisdom and guidance. By advocating for a prayer life marked by unwavering faith and free from doubt, James addresses the core of spiritual stability. This stability is crucial not only for navigating the trials and decisions of life, but also for maintaining a consistent and growing relationship with God. As believers learn to ask in faith without doubting, they not only receive the wisdom they seek, but also develop a stronger, more enduring faith that shapes their entire approach to life. This approach, rooted in trust and confidence in God, transforms their spiritual journey, leading to a life that is not tossed by the winds of circumstance, but anchored firmly in the truth and promises of God.